ಹ್ಞೂ 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 ಸೀನಿಯರ್ನ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿಬಿಡಿ, ಓವರಣ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡಿ. ಕೇಳಲೇಬೇಕು ರೀ, ಕೇಳಲೇಬೇಕು. ಅವರ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಡಿ ಸಿ ಎಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಹಿಮ್. Good morning. Am I audible, please?
Yeah, good morning, Balaji garu. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. Very, very nice.
Yeah, we'll
Very
start in just 1 or 2 minutes.
yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Please open your video. Hmm.
My video.
Yeah.
My house is in a mess, so that is why I have.
Yeah. Good morning, Pankaj ji. Yeah. Good morning, all participants. We'll start the session. Yeah. Already 130 members have joined. I think it is better to start. Yeah. Please check Balaji ji, your video.
Yes, sir. My video is off. I put it off because my house is not very good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Start.
Yes, sir. I think you. Can I start the session?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to start. Just a minute. Yeah, welcome Sri Balaji Gurunatha garu and welcome participants. I'm very, very happy. The mission 52 weeks of Zoom sessions began on 5th March 2023 on my platform. This is mcqrls.com. Yeah, today's session is the 25th one, Silver Jubilee one. Very, very happy Sri Balaji garu agreed to address today's session on the topic freight incentive schemes. That is the very most important topic in the Indian Railways. Yeah, he is an icon or idol of the commercial fraternity in the Indian Railways. He is sharing his knowledge through WhatsApp or Zoom classes to entire commercial fraternity in the Indian Railways. Very happy to arrange his topic. Yeah, I request Pankaj Jha, Deputy CTA of SBC, to introduce the today's faculty. Yeah, over to Sri Pankaj ji. Yeah, Pankaj ji, please unmute. Yeah, you're muted. Yeah, please unmute. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. That's audible, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, audible, quite audible.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Today, welcome to all of you. This 25th session. Today, I'm going to introduce our commercial control. It's a very experienced and very knowledgeable person, Mr. Balaji Gurunath, sir. He is joined Indian Railway 1986. Now working for as a commercial control last 30 years in Bangalore. So he's a very experienced and knowledgeable person, and we need his knowledge. Just want to share these things about Balaji sir, and he is very good, efficient, and always whenever our any staff will any problem, just immediately we call our Balaji sir. He is a commercial control. He reply very quick. He responds very good, and under his guidelines, we are working last 10 or 11 years. These are the small things, small briefing about Balaji sir. Balaji sir. Balaji sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Balaji
Good
sir.
morning. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Thank you,
Thank
Pankaj ji.
you. Thank you so much.
Balaji sir. Can we start this sir? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pankaj ji. Thank you for introduction.
And
Yeah.
we are very eagerly waiting.
Yeah, over to Sri Balaji garu. Please commence your session.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. It's a very nice day and a pleasure that celebrating the Silver Jubilee occasion of this MCQ video. This thing, Nageshwarao garu, thank you so much.
Right now, all are muted. Can I unmute all the participants?
Yes, please, sir. Yes. You can unmute.
Yeah.
Let them ask any questions there. You can unmute
Yeah,
everybody.
yes. Participants, I request please mute unless it is any query or any reference to faculty. Otherwise, please be muted. Yeah, you can unmute and you can speak to faculty anytime. Okay. Yeah, please start.
So, Yes, again, my session will not be like most of the others. I will not use PowerPoint or I will not use fancy videos. I will be directly reading out from the PDF and I will be explaining some websites to you. So मेरा क्लास जो हो वो थोड़ा अलग से होगा और हिंदी अंग्रेज़ दोनों में मैं कोशिश करता हूँ क्योंकि बहुत सारा आदमी को ये जो हिंदी है उसको पसंद है. इट्स आवर नेशनल लैंग्वेज आल्सो, सो वी सैल्यूट दैट लैंग्वेज. सो मेरा क्लास जो हो हिंदी और अंग्रेज़ में होता है. हिंदी में मैं उतना जानकारी नहीं हूँ, मगर कितना हिंदी आता है उतना हिंदी में भी मैं कोशिश करूँगा आपको समझने के लिए. अभी मेरा जो आज का टॉपिक है फ्रेट इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स, है ना. इसका मतलब है जो आप सब ने वी हैव ऑल यूज्ड so many platforms and so many we buy so many things, we consume so many things in life, is it not? So wherever we consume, wherever we buy, we look for offers. ये ऑफर हम क्यों ढूंढ रहे हैं? वी लुक फॉर ऑफर्स बिकॉज वी कैन सेव सम मनी and we can also go back to the purchaser again and again. So the person who is selling it, जो sell कर रहा है, he will always try to give something which will make us to buy from him. Say if you go to a gold shop to buy gold or silver or diamond, he will tell no making charges, no Sedaram, no coolie, that means no wastage, no making charges, like that, and we will go there and buy because we want to save some money. So that is one thing. Or maybe they will tell you that buy one get one free. आप ये सामान आप एक खरीद ले तो आपका जो दूसरा है वो मुफ्त में मिलेगा. सो these are the incentives. It is called carrot and stick policy. Carrot and stick policy का मतलब जो है एक आपका जो the donkey, it is always shown the carrot, so it keeps trying to eat the carrot and it keeps moving forward, not knowing that the carrot is never going to get to him. So every incentive scheme is like that only. Whether in Indian Railways or outside, every incentive scheme is given by the seller, not to just make you feel happy or make you feel better. All the incentive schemes are basically given with the seller in mind. The seller wants to either advertise more about his product or get more revenue out of it or get more customers on board. Nonetheless, whatever be the reason why the incentive is given, it helps both of them. Okay, it is one of the important things in life that जो कुछ है वो अब दिया तो आपको भी मिलता है, वैसा ही एक स्कीम है ये. For example, affection. A mother may have 10 children, but she can give all the affection to all the 10 children and yet not lose even one iota of it. ये ऐसा है जो incentive schemes. Any incentive scheme by the seller is to increase his sales, and the secondary part of it is that it makes you happy and so go on buying from him. Indian Railways also like that. Our Indian Railways
खत्म हो जाना अभी वो
like that our Indian Railways also is having ये जो हमारा भारत का रेल है उसमें भी हम बहुत सारा इंसेंटिव्स दे रहे हैं क्योंकि कस्टमर्स जो है वो हमारा पास आ सकेगा. अच्छा, ये जो इंसेंटिव स्कीम हम आज बात करेंगे इसका है फ्रेट का बारे में. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट कोचिंग. फ्रेट का बारे में इंसेंटिव्स क्या क्या है अभी आप बात है. फ्रेट क्या है? फ्रेट है कैरिंग ऑफ गुड्स और मटेरियल, एक जगह से दूसरा जगह मटेरियल या फ्रेट को लेके जाने का जो सुविधा रेलवे देता है उसका बारे में बात करेंगे आज. फ्रेट इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स. आप सबको मालूम है इंडियन रेलवेज इज द बिगेस्ट कैरियर ऑफ बोथ पैसेंजर्स एंड गुड्स एज अ सिंगल provider. Single goods provider, largest in India is Indian Railways. Single largest carrier of passengers by per volume is Indian Railways. So we are working for such a big huge organization. Now why do we give the incentives? Indian Railways gives incentives to garner more customers, to retain existing customers, to ensure that our wagons do not go empty, है ना। ये इंसेंटिव्स जो हम दे रहे हैं इसलिए दे रहे हैं क्योंकि हमारा जो रेलगाड़ी है वो खाली मत चाहिए, और आगे बढ़ते बढ़ते हमारा जो रेवेन्यू है वो ज़्यादा होते जाइए। वो ज़्यादा होने के लिए हम क्या करना है, हम जाके कस्टमर से एंटाइज करना है उसको। we have to plead with him, we have to beg him, we have to request him, we have to in fact go and fall at his feet literally, because that is where we get the money for our salary. Not only our salary, that is where we can make the Indian economy grow also. Now I will share the screen and I will try to take is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Now I will take you to a website called fois.indianrail.gov.in/rail sahay. Okay, this is the BDU app or Business Development Unit app of the Indian Railways, website of the Indian Railways, where जो कस्टमर है, हमारा कस्टमर, आज बात करेंगे फ्रेट कस्टमर, इसका बारे में जो मतलब है वो मटेरियल को, गुड्स को एक जगह से दूसरा जगह भेजने के लिए चाहता है। वो आजकल हमारा रेलवे स्टेशन को आने का ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, पूरा का पूरा जो उनका हेल्प है इसी वेबसाइट में मिलेगा, www.indianrail.gov.in/rail sahay। इसका मतलब है हमारा जो सहाय करने के लिए ये वेबसाइट है। आपका स्क्रीन में जो दिख रहा है, वेलकम टू इंडियन रेलवे फ्रेट सर्विसेज, ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग सप्लाई चेन विथ टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इनोवेशंस। इसका मतलब है हमारा जो सप्लाई चेन का मतलब है घर से रेलवे स्टेशन, रेलवे स्टेशन से ट्रेन में, ट्रेन से डेस्टिनेशन तक, डेस्टिनेशन से होलसेलर तक, होलसेलर से आपका जो किराना दुकान है वहां तक, इसका सप्लाई चेन बोलता है। ये जो सप्लाई चेन का है हम टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इनोवेशन दोनों का उपलब्ध करता है। टेक्नोलॉजी क्या है, नया नया मैकेनिकल और नॉन मैकेनिकल मीन्स टू ट्रांसपोर्ट, एंड इनोवेशंस नया नया चीज़ों जो हम मन में सोचते हैं। ये है BDU का, बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट यूनिट का बारे में। ये डेडिकेटेड 24/7 टू सर्व द लॉजिस्टिक्स नीड्स ऑफ द कंट्री, है ना। लॉजिस्टिक्स का मतलब एक आइटम दूसरा जगह को लेके जाना है। अभी हम नीचे आए तो इसमें देखेंगे कि हम टर्मिनल को चूज कर सकते हैं, किस जगह से मैं लोडिंग कर रहा हूँ या किस जगह अनलोडिंग कर रहा है। वैगन को सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम, क्या टाइप ऑफ वैगन होना, कितना वैगन होना, कब होना, और हमको फ्रेट एंड एक्सपेक्टेड ट्रांसिट टाइम, फ्रेट चार्जेस कितना होता है और इसका ट्रांसिट टाइम, ट्रांसिट टाइम का मतलब है कितना दिन होगा एक जगह से दूसरा जगह वो माल लेके जाने के लिए। ओके, नाउ लेट अस सी मोर इनटू इट about Indian Railways. When we say us, we mean our family, our fraternity, which is Indian Railways. Indian Railways is the backbone of the country's logistics. We carry more than 1.4 billion tons of freight every year. 1.4 billion tons every year over a network of 68,000 kilometer. Please see, India is such a huge country. हमारा north, south, east, west, one of the largest countries in the world, and shortly we are going to overtake China with respect to population also. Obviously we cannot overtake by area, but by population we are definitely going to overtake very very soon. So India is the most populous country. Now what does population give us? Population gives us the benefit of one huge thing, that is consumption. When more people are there, more consumption is there. When more consumption is there, there is more demand. When more demand is there, obviously productivity ज़्यादा होगा. It's a vicious cycle. Okay, it's a vicious cycle or circle. इसका मतलब है जब जहाँ पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा होगा उसका रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा होगा, जब रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा होगा उसका डिमांड ज़्यादा होगा, जब डिमांड ज़्यादा होगा ऑटोमेटिकली उसका प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा होगा, प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा होने के लिए फिर रॉ मटेरियल ज़्यादा होना, रॉ मटेरियल ज़्यादा होने के लिए प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा होना. सो इट्स अ विशियस सर्कल. ओके, एवरीथिंग कीप्स कमिंग बैक टू दैट. So 68,000 kilometers. With our network touching almost every nook and corner of the country, we play a crucial role in facilitating a balanced and inclusive socio-economic development of the country. इसका मतलब क्या है, इतना बड़ा नेटवर्क रह के हर कोने कोने में हमारा इंडियन रेलवेज का रेल चल रहा है और हम इतना इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं कि इंडियन रेलवेज यदि 1-2 घंटा 3 घंटा के लिए बंद हो गया तो हमारा इकोनॉमी का बहुत असर पड़ेगा, है ना. सो वी प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ आवर कंट्री. We carry almost all commodities, including bulk commodities like coal, iron ore, iron and steel, food grain, cement, petroleum products, fertilizers and other commodities carried in containers. इसका मतलब है जो हमारा इंडियन रेलवे का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का हम रेंज देखा तो ये रेंज में हम शव को लेके जाता है, ह्यूमन बॉडीज. वी कैरी मानव शव, we carry human ashes, we carry luggage, we carry parcels, we carry explosives, we carry ammunition, we carry coal, iron ore, iron and steel. ये सब coal, iron ore, iron and steel, ये सब जो चीज़ है वो टन्स एंड टन्स में लेके जाता है, बहुत सारा क्वांटिटी में लेके जाता है. लॉरी में या रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट में लेके जाना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि द कैरिंग कैपेसिटी ऑफ द vehicle is very little in road, number 1. Number 2, the roads are always congested. Number 3, the wear and tear of the wheels will be so much that they have to keep on changing it. All these things are there. So there are so many other things also which we have to think about. So railways is the only bulk carrier of coal, iron ore, iron and steel, food grains, cement, petroleum products, fertilizers and other commodities. So we are proud to serve more than 9,000 customers. हमारा पास 9,000 कस्टमर्स अभी तक है. ये दिन के दिन बढ़ते जा रहा है, कम होता नहीं, बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. क्यों बढ़ते जा रहे हैं? क्योंकि हम ये जो इंसेंटिव स्कीम है उसके बारे में आज बात करेंगे. ये जो इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स है वो नया कस्टमर्स को ऑनबोर्ड कर रहे हैं. और नॉट ओनली दैट, ये जो पिछले कस्टमर्स, एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स है, वो भी हमको ये जो इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स देख के हमारा जो व्हाट वी से दी नेट टन किलोमीटर, जितना टन हमको ट्रांसपोर्ट करने के लिए दे रहे हैं वो हर दिन बढ़ते जा रहा है. ओके, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी आर द मोस्ट एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. वी आर द मोस्ट एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. इसका मतलब क्या है? हमारा जो पोल्यूशन है वो बहुत कम है. वी यूज वेरी एडवांस्ड डीजल लोकोमोटिव्स एंड एक्सट्रीमली एडवांस्ड स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट मतलब जहां वर्ल्ड में पहले प्रोड्यूस हुआ तो वो लोकोमोटिव हम भारत का देश में उसी दिन यूज करते हैं. स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी is being used in our locomotives and in all our productions. That means we are most environmentally friendly. आप सब सुना होगा कि ये जो ओजोन लेयर है हमारा, जो अर्थ को प्रोटेक्ट करता है वो अल्ट्रावायलेट रेस से, वो आजकल टूट गया है. और अल्ट्रावायलेट रेस हमारा अंदर घुस रहा है, कैंसर का ज़्यादा हो रहा है, बाकी डिसीजेस का भी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. और ये भी आप समझते हैं कि यदि ये कार्बन एमिशंस जो है, कार्बन एमिशंस, ये जो कार्बन एमिशंस है वो पेट्रोलियम और डीजल बर्निंग से, कोल बर्निंग से होता है. और वो कार्बन एमिशंस ने ये ओजोन लेयर को टूट जाता है. और ज़्यादा भी हमारा भारतीय रेल जो है वो डीजल इलेक्ट्रिक लोकोमोटिव यूज़ करते हैं और इलेक्ट्रिक लोकोमोटिव यूज़ करते हैं, जिसका कार्बन फुटप्रिंट, जो कार्बन एमिशंस है वो बहुत कम है. इसके लिए वी कॉल आवरसेल्व्स द मोस्ट एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एज फार एज लैंड ट्रांसपोर्ट इज कंसर्न्ड. The next point, our commitment is competitive and timely delivery of cargo. हमारा जो आजकल का गोल्डन क्वाड्रिलेटरल जो आप सब सुना ही है, वो जो गोल्डन क्वाड्रिलेटरल है वो बहुत अमूल्य है. और डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर जो है DFC, डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर लिंकिंग द इम्पॉर्टेंट नॉर्थ साउथ ईस्ट एंड वेस्ट पार्ट्स ऑफ आवर कंट्री, वो अभी आजकल बहुत तेज से चल रहे हैं. और ये तेज से चलने का जो तरीका है उसको देख के हम बता सकते हैं कि यदि 5 साल में हमारा जो डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर है उसमें 95% ऑफ द फ्रेट ट्रैफिक विल बी गोइंग देयर. इसका मतलब है फ्रेट ट्रैफिक को सेपरेट ट्रैक होगा, सेपरेट लाइन होगा, सेपरेट स्टेशन होगा. वो कोचिंग स्टॉक, इसका मतलब है राजधानी, शताब्दी, एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन, पैसेंजर ट्रेन, उन सब का जो ट्रैक है वो अलग होगा और ये फ्रेट कॉरिडोर अलग होगा. इसका मतलब है हम पार्टी को बोल सकते हैं भाई ये आपका जो माल है वो 24 घंटा में आप पहुंच देते हैं, मतलब 100% 24 घंटा का अंदर पहुंचने का जो फैसिलिटी है अभी 5 साल में हम भारत देश का भारतीय रेल ने प्रॉमिस किया है ना. सो our you can see the carbon emission saved. We have saved so much of carbon emission. We have loaded 1269 rakes a day. 1300 रेक हम एक दिन में लोड किया है. ओके, सो दैट इज अवर लोडिंग. वी हैव क्रिएटेड अराउंड 3000 इंडेंट्स, नया इंडेंट्स, नया वैगन पूछने का. हम 3,46,704 वैगन्स लोड किया है, मतलब 3.5 लाख वैगन एक दिन में लोड किया है. हम 15,000 लोकोमोटिव्स यूज़ किया है. हमारा पास 1,500 ई पेमेंट कस्टमर्स है, वो घर में बैठ के ही हमारा जो सेवा है वो यूज़ कर रहा है. ओके, नाउ दिस इज अबाउट द इंडियन रेलवेज इन अ जिस्ट as far as freight is concerned. Now we are going to talk about the freight incentive schemes. Okay, now when we go to the freight incentive schemes, in the website itself the party can see what are the incentives available, what are the schemes available, and what are the facilities that railway is going to give. Now my class is going to be different. I'm not going to use any hyphened PowerPoint. It will be PDF only, and anybody can ask a question wherever they want. You simply unmute your mic and you can ask a question anytime you want. Okay, so when we come to this screen on the website, which each of you can access at home, going to fois.indianrail.gov.in/rail sahay. Okay, when we go to that, you get these rebate schemes and long term contracts. रिबेट स्कीम जैसे हम पहले ही बता चुका है, ये जो रिबेट है हम क्यों दे रहे हैं, हम ये रिबेट दे रहे हैं क्योंकि हम जो एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स है उसका जो टनेज जो दे रहे हैं वो ज़्यादा होगा, और ये भी होता है कि नया कस्टमर्स जो है उनको हम अट्रैक्ट कर सकेगा. अभी है आप देखेंगे तो आपका लेफ्ट ऑफ द स्क्रीन में फ्रेट इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स, कंसेशंस अंडर वेरियस स्कीम्स, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन प्रोडक्ट्स, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, कस्टमर फ्रेंडली रैशनलाइजेशन एंड पेमेंट पॉलिसी, इन सब है. इन सब क्यों है, हम इन सब दे रहे हैं क्योंकि हम नया कस्टमर्स को अट्रैक्ट करेगा, या और रोड या एयर या सी ट्रैफिक विच आर आवर कॉम्पिटिटर्स, जो हमारा कॉम्पिटिटर्स है वो हमारा वो जो रोड और एयर और सी छोड़ के हमारा रेलवे को आके हमको ज़्यादा ट्रैफिक दिया जाने के लिए. अभी हमारा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक नया स्कीम स्टार्ट किया है, उसका बात है गतिशक्ति कार्गो टर्मिनल. ये गतिशक्ति क्या है, गतिशक्ति वेरी सिंपल टर्मिनोलॉजी में बताया तो ये है अमालगमेशन, joining hands with other competitors. Railway will join hands with other competitors like road, sea and air to make the movement of materials very easy. आपका डोर स्टेप से लेके डायरेक्ट से कंज्यूमर का डोर स्टेप तक एक ही पेमेंट में जाने का व्यवस्था है. ये गतिशक्ति मल्टी मॉडल ट्रांसपोर्ट इसको बोलता है, मल्टी मॉडल ट्रांसपोर्ट यूजिंग रेलवेज, एयरवेज, शिपिंग एज वेल एज द रोडवेज. सो ऑल द फोर विल जॉइन टुगेदर, come together, make a scheme so that your material will leave the factory and from the factory go directly to the doors of the consumer in a single shot. Okay, that we will talk some other time. Right now freight incentive schemes and concessions. इधर देखा तो आप पहले है ATEFD, automatic freight rebate scheme for traffic loaded in traditional empty flow direction. ये ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्टी फ्लो डायरेक्शन क्या होगा, इसका मतलब ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्टी फ्लो डायरेक्शन क्या होगा, मैं आपका एक छोटा सा एक एक्सेल शीट में बता के आपको बताता हूँ. आप सब जितना आदमी है बहुत सारा आदमी को शादीशुदा है, और आपका जो ट्रेडिशनल फ्लो डायरेक्शन है आपका मालूम है कि when you get married your father in law or your mother in law will come and brother in law will come and tell you भाई आपका कुछ पैसे चाहिए तो आप हमको पूछिए, हम है इधर आपको हेल्प करने के लिए। मैं हमारा घर का जो बेटी है वो आपको दिया है शादी करके, आप कुछ मत फिक्र करो। आपका जब फिनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम है वो आपका पास हमारा पास आइए और आप पूछ सकते हैं कुछ पैसे होने को, एक गाड़ी लेना या एक कुछ नया कंप्यूटर लैपटॉप खरीदने को। वैसे योर फादर इन लॉ और योर मदर इन लॉ विल टेल, इज इट नॉट? सो that we go on taking from the father-in-law or mother-in-law, but we rarely give them back. That giving back is called the traditional empty flow direction. Okay, now in my Excel sheet you can see on my screen a small Excel sheet I have opened. So let me give a small example on the screen and tell you. So this we will call the originating station, and this we will call the destination station. Okay, suppose the originating station is, let us say, Ghaziabad, and let us assume that okay, let us assume that the destination station is Bengaluru. Okay, let us say that this is the originating station and this is the destination station. Now what I want to tell you is, if at all Ghaziabad is the originating station and Bangalore is the destination station, the production of factories, the more factories or more this thing okay, more and more production will take place in Ghaziabad. So most of our trains will be going from where to where? Our 99% of the trains will go from Ghaziabad to Bangalore. Very good. Many of our trains will go from Ghaziabad to Bangalore, but we cannot expect so many trains to go back from Bangalore to Ghaziabad, because Bangalore is more about production with respect to soft skills. That means computer software and other things which do not require a train to take. So this portion is called the normal flow direction, which we will put it in this color, and this direction which is in the column 4 is called the traditional empty flow direction, which we are going to talk about. Okay, so this is the traditional empty flow direction. So when rakes keep coming from Ghaziabad to Bangalore, हर दिन आप सोच लो कि 25 रेक गाजियाबाद से लोड होके बेंगलुरु को आएगा और हर एक गाड़ी में 58 वैगन्स होगा. So the number of wagons that will be in Bangalore is 58 wagons per rake, into assuming 25 rakes are coming, we will be having 1450 wagons with us at Bangalore. Now these 1450 wagons cannot go back to Ghaziabad because Bangalore does not have any production unit. Okay, we get all the raw materials from Ghaziabad or all the materials from Ghaziabad to Bangalore, मगर बेंगलुरु से हम दूसरा जगह, यदि गाजियाबाद हो या चेन्नई हो, उसको हम भेजने का हमारा कुछ भी नहीं है. मगर हम बोल रहे भाई, हम हमारा रेलवे में बोल रहे हैं ये ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्टी फ्लो डायरेक्शन में, यदि आप यहाँ से बेंगलुरु से गाजियाबाद जो ट्रेडिशनली एम्प्टी जा रहा है हमारा जो ये वैगन है, ये वैगन को क्या करना, हम ये 1450 wagons we have to send back to Ghaziabad, yes or no, so that again it can be loaded and coming. We don't have a perennial supply of wagons from Ghaziabad to Bangalore. Whatever comes back to Bangalore we have to send back to Ghaziabad. So what our railway tells us, what our forefathers have told us, reuse, recycle, is it not? Like that we have to send back these empty wagons back to Ghaziabad. Now how do we do that? We have to send it empty. So we are telling, यदि आप एम्प्टी वैगन में कुछ सामान है, आप उस वैगन में आप डाल के गाजियाबाद को भेज रहे बेंगलुरु से, हम थोड़ा इंसेंटिव देगा आपका थोड़ा कंसेशन देगा. सो एनीबडी विलिंग टू सेंड बैक कंसाइनमेंट फ्रॉम बेंगलुरु टू गाजियाबाद विल गेट अ कंसेशन. ये है ऑटोमेटिक फ्रेट रिबेट स्कीम फॉर ट्रैफिक लोडेड इन ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्टी फ्लो डायरेक्शन. आप इसका एक एग्जांपल सोचेगा कि जब आप अप एंड डाउन बुक करते हैं एक कैब को या एक ऑटो को, वो आपका x प्लस वाई इज इक्वल टू z का मतलब आपका x प्लस वाई विल नॉट बी द डबल बट इट विल बी अराउंड 1/8 or 1/7 of the price you have to pay. 1.7 times only you will pay if you are booking some cab or auto both up and down instead of 2. 1 plus 1 is normally 2, but the auto driver will tell, he will not charge 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, he will charge you 1 plus 1 is equal to 1.7. So you will get some 30% discount on the return direction. That is what we are talking about. So automatic traditional empty flow direction. Okay, so that is the topic today. Automatic freight rebate scheme for traditional empty flow direction. Discounted freight is charged at LR1 or class 100 or class 110 for train load, wagon load respectively if traffic is booked in notified empty flow directions. Discount is granted through the system. इसका मतलब है automatic freight rebate. That is why it is called automatic freight rebate. The customer need not ask for it. When he indents for a wagon and he goes to the website to pay the freight charges, automatically the freight is given to him and he can automatically he can pay the lesser charge. He need not ask for it. It is an automatic rebate. That is why the headlines is also telling automatic rebate scheme. Somebody is in the train selling coffee. I also want coffee. Okay, so let us see what are the details. So when we go to the view details, we can see a PDF is opening. Let me show you what it is. So liberalized automatic freight rebate scheme for traffic loaded in traditional empty flow direction. जैसे मैं पहले बताया गया, ये स्कीम है जो B to A रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में जो वैगन्स का खाली जाता है उसमें कुछ भर के गया तो हमारा भी फायदा होगा, कस्टमर को भी रिबेट मिलेगा. ये है ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्टी फ्लो. सो वी विल सी व्हाट इट मीन्स हियर. सो व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस. ऑब्जेक्टिव का मतलब है इसमें हम क्या अचीव करने के लिए चाहता है. व्हाट डू वी अचीव बाय दिस? To reduce the empty running ratio on IR Indian Railways and to garner additional revenue for the railways by a suitable pricing mechanism based on discount. अच्छा, ये कमा तक क्या अर्थ है? यहाँ एक कमा है, इस कमा तक क्या अर्थ है? To reduce the empty running ratio, जैसे मैं बताया गया empty running ratio है जो जितना वैगन वापस ओरिजिनेटिंग डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है empty, इसका रेशियो है empty running ratio ऑन इंडियन रेलवेज. टू गार्नर एडिशनल रेवेन्यू, कुछ रेवेन्यू हमारा जो किटी पर्स में आता है उसका. सूटेबल प्राइसिंग मैकेनिज्म, प्राइसिंग मैकेनिज्म बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं होना, बहुत कम भी नहीं होना, क्योंकि बहुत कम है तो सब भर के देता है वैगन्स में और हमारा फ़ायदा नहीं है. सो दी प्राइसिंग शुड बी वेरी suitable for railways as well as the customer. It should not be too less, it should not be too more. So that is the TFD, whereby automatic rebate from the computerized FOIS system shall become available to the consumers after traffic. ऑटोमेटिक रिबेट होगा, कस्टमर ने पूछने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. जब B to A कस्टमर ने वैगन इंडेंट करके फ्रेट चार्ज भरेगा, ऑटोमेटिकली द सिस्टम विल सर्च फॉर the rebate scheme. If it is available, the rebate will become automatic and the passenger need not ask for it personally. Okay, so इधर देखो लास्ट लाइन इंपॉर्टेंट है. सब्जेक्ट टू फुलफिलमेंट ऑफ सर्टेन क्राइटेरिया एलाबोरेटेड इन द पॉलिसी. इसका मतलब क्या है? जब आप अमेजोन में कुछ खरीदता है, फ्लिपकार्ट में कुछ खरीदता है, आपको क्या बोलेगा? आप गुड्स सब कोचिंग सब पढ़े हैं ना. यदि एक अंधा आदमी है और उसका कैंसर भी है, आप कितना कंसेशन दे सकता है एक आदमी को? एनीबॉडी कैन आंसर? हाउ मेनी कंसेशंस वी कैन गिव?
Only one.
Only one concession can be given at a time. यदि आप अंधा है तो अंधा का कंसेशन ले लो. यदि आप बुढ़ा कैंसर है, आप एक कंसेशन ले लो, यदि आप अंधा भी हो और कैंसर भी हो, आप दो कंसेशन दिया तो समझो कि एक का 50% कंसेशन है और दूसरा का 75% कंसेशन है, इसका मतलब है रेलवे को उसको -25% देना पड़ेगा विच इज़ नॉट एक्चुअली करेक्ट। सो यदि आप अमेजोन में खरीद लेगा या फ्लिपकार्ट में कुछ खरीदेगा, क्या बोलेगा, ओनली वन कंसेशन और वन डिस्काउंट इज अवेलेबल एट ए टाइम, है ना। आप कल मैं डोमिनोज में पिज़्ज़ा ऑर्डर किया और बोला कि आप SBI कार्ड है तो इतना यूज़ करेगा और ये है तो इतना कंसेशन मिलेगा, और उसमें एक नीचे में एक लाइन है, यू कैन यूज़ ओनली वन डिस्काउंट स्कीम पर टाइम। जैसे हमारा रेलवे भी बोलता है कि जब आप ऑटोमेटिक फ्रेट रिबेट स्कीम में कंसेशंस होना, आप उसमें खरीद लो। यदि आप ये दूसरा स्कीम में है, वो आपको अच्छा लग रहा है, इसका अलावा वो उसको यूज़ करो। That is the only thing we tell. So those are the criteria that we tell. We also tell the rules which are there. Okay, now next one, notified streams under TEFD shall be based on the flow of empties between divisions in case of interzonal traffic and between divisions. इसका मतलब है ये जो स्टेशन जिसका बारे में हम बात किया इस एक्सेल में, गाजियाबाद टू बेंगलोर, वो हमारा वेबसाइट में नोटिफाई होना है। दो स्टेशंस, अलग अलग स्टेशंस अलग डिविजन्स में होगा या अलग जोन्स में होगा, इसका हमारा रेलवे बोर्ड में नोटिफाई करता है, उसी नोटिफाइड स्टेशन से हम कर सकता है। देन ये कहाँ परमिट होता है, ऑल गुड शेड साइडिंग स्पोर्ट्स PFTs क्या है, प्राइवेट फ्रेट टर्मिनल्स, उन सब में शामिल है। क्या क्या कमोडिटीज नॉट एलिजिबल है, जैसे बोला है कि कुछ रूल्स है, क्या क्या रूल्स है, ये सब कमोडिटीज एलिजिबल नहीं है। आयरन और ऑल टाइप्स, कोल, petroleum and lubricants, chemical manure, railway material consignment, military traffic and commodities which are already under the low rated charges, इन सब का जो ये चीज़ में शामिल नहीं होता, कंसेशन नहीं मिलता। और ये भी है शॉर्ट लीड ट्रैफिक ऑफ लेस देन और इक्वल टू, ये साइन है लेस देन और इक्वल टू 100 किलोमीटर का या 100 का अंदर, 100 का अंदर हुआ तो इसका मतलब ओनली फ्रॉम 101 किलोमीटर ऑनवर्ड्स इट इज एलिजिबल, नॉट इवन 100 किलोमीटर्स। परमिटेड वैगन, ओपन वैगन, बॉक्स एंड वैगन, बूस्ट वैगन, वो सब में, और कवर्ड वैगन, BCN या BCN HL वैगन, फ्लैट वैगन, मिक्सड स्टील रेक्स, इन सब में ये शामिल है। देन traditional empty flow direction, the details of traditional empty flow directions for different stocks are given in annexure 1 and 2. Okay, en route divisions of originating D, OD pair means originating and destination, O means originating, D means destination, OD pair under TFDA as given in annexure 3. Okay, freight for all commodities under TFD shall be charged at LR1 class train load, and if it is wagon load, class 100 if traffic is booked on the notified originating destination pair given in the annexure 1 and 2. Okay, so this is about it. There are a lot of technical details which you people can go through. I will share all this PDF, or you can as well go to the website and you can download. I will share the link to you also. Now in Indian Railways we have got a very beautiful terminology called NTKM, or net ton kilometer. This, anybody wants to know more about net 10 kilometer can Google it, otherwise I will take a separate class on it with the permission of our sir. So one more day I will take a class. It is a very very important class, and that class is called as the benchmarks that we use in Indian Railways, the benchmarks that we use in Indian Railways to evaluate ourselves, and that is called KPI, or key performance indices. Indian Railways uses key performance indices to gauge the progress that you have made. I will ask sir, if sir is permitting, then traffic KPI I can take up a class one day. In that one of the
definitely Balaji garu, definitely.
Yes sir, thank you. So among the key performance indices by which every division, every senior DCM, every senior DOM, every DRM, every person from the bottom to the top is gauged using this KPI, or key performance indices, which tells how much progressive they are in implementing these schemes. So NTKM is net ton kilometer. That means how many tons of material is loaded for every X kilometers. So that I will have a detailed class another day. So this NTKM is a important benchmark. So that we are talking about here. Okay, so this gives a lot of this thing about this thing which we need not worry much. So salient features: customer does not have to apply under the scheme, since FOI system shall automatically calculate. That is why it is called automatic freight rebate. Okay, the minimum offer of traffic for BCN, BCNHS 20 wagons, BCNHL 29 wagons, Boxen 29. The table is self-descriptive. I need not go about it. Okay, so this scheme, this page is 53 pages long, so you can go through this and you can get more knowledge on it yourself. Now we'll go to the next scheme. The next scheme is called long-term traffic contract, or LTTC. What is this LTTC? Provides freight stability to customers in the current year of the agreement, along with rebate in the freight based on incremental growth in the gross freight revenue, GFR. Okay, now what is the meaning of it? That means यदि आप इस साल में आप 1000 किलोमीटर लोड किया, यदि वो पिछले साल में 500 मेट्रिक टन था और इस साल 1000 मेट्रिक टन है और अगले साल 1500 मेट्रिक टन आप लोड करेगा, आप हमारा परमानेंट कस्टमर्स है। इसका मतलब क्या है? हर साल आप जो ट्रैफिक हमको दे रहे हैं वो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। यदि बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, इसका मतलब है आपका जो प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी है वो भी बढ़ते जा रहे हैं और आप हमारा रेलवे का लॉयल कस्टमर बन गया है। प्लीज रिमेंबर द टर्म, यू आर नाउ अ लॉयल कस्टमर। दैट मीन्स यू कीप कमिंग बैक टू अस। इसके लिए बोल रहे हैं कि जो अब पॉइंट्स देता है, जब भी आप दुकान में जाता है आपका मोबाइल नंबर पूछता है और आप डेटाबेस क्रिएट करता है। अभी जो दुकान को बार बार जाते रहते हैं, बोलते हैं कि आप लॉयल कस्टमर्स हो और उसका लॉयल्टी के रेवेन्यू आपका थोड़ा 5% एक्स्ट्रा डिस्काउंट, 10% एक्स्ट्रा डिस्काउंट आपको देते जा रहे हैं। आपका जो किराना का दुकान है आपका घर का सामने, उधर भी ये स्कीम है। आप जाके बोलेंगे सर क्या कितना दिन से आपसे ले रहा हूँ, क्या 2 रुपये 3 रुपये कम करने नहीं क्या? बोले तो वो हंस के सर 3 रुपये तो होता नहीं, 1 रुपये कम करूँगा, 2 रुपये कम करूँगा, बोलता है नहीं। आप एक शू खरीद लो, चप्पल खरीद लो, उधर भी आप बोला तो क्या कितना बार आपका दुकान से लिया है, आपका मेरा चेहरा तो पहचाना नहीं क्या? आप पूछा तो क्या हाँ वो बोल के थोड़ा डिस्काउंट देगा। यही है लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रैफिक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। प्रोवाइड्स फ्रेट स्टेबिलिटी। क्या फ्रेट स्टेबिलिटी देगा? ये स्टेबिलिटी है कि प्राइस का स्टेबिलिटी। यदि आपका फ्रेट ज़्यादा हो, वो उसको गारंटी है कि वो जो ज़्यादा है इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं करेगा इसको, है ना। जो इफ देयर इज ए इंक्रीज इन द फ्रेट, देन वी विल नॉट पास इट ऑन टू दैट पर्टिकुलर कस्टमर हु इज कमिंग अंडर दिस लॉन्ग टर्म फ्रेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट स्कीम, and it is all based on a particular technical term called gross freight revenue. Okay, let us see what that is in detail. I will open a PDF. So long term freight traffic contract with key customers using predetermined price escalation principle. Predetermined price escalation principle, ये बहुत important शब्द है इसमें। Okay, this policy of long-term traffic contract is the first of its kind and shall provide certainty in logistic operations. Okay, the customers entering into this long-term contract with railways, important word, shall bring assured traffic to the railways. इसका मतलब है वो बोलता है कि सर मैं आपका विश्वास दूंगा कि जो पिछले साल में था उसके भी ज़्यादा इस साल में दूंगा और उसके भी ज़्यादा अगला साल में भी दूंगा। इसका गारंटी वो देना है ना। इसका मतलब है यू शुड बी अ रियली साउंड कस्टमर financially as well as economically, and he should have a very big market share which is expanding. He should be probably a FMCG, fast moving consumer goods का होगा। FMCG का मतलब fast moving consumer goods, soap, toothpaste, ये सब। या he should be an automobile maker like Kia cars, Toyota cars, Suzuki, like that. Or he must be a very big customer who is able to give us guaranteed traffic. Okay. So again, freight rebate on fulfillment of certain conditions. जैसे हम बता रहे हैं, यदि आप वेंकटेश्वर स्वामी को देखा तो एक हाथ नीचे है एक हाथ ऊपर है, इसका मतलब है वो भगवान लेता भी और देता भी, दोनों हाथ में, एक हाथ में लेता है और दूसरा हाथ में देता है। जितना पैसे आप हुंडी में आप 1000 रुपये डाल के आप पूछा तो भगवान ज़्यादा देगा, उसका ही कॉन्सेप्ट है हमारा रेलवे में भी। आप जितना ट्रैफिक देगा उतना कम होगा आपका जो फ्रेट चार्ज है। ओके, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द पॉलिसी आर लॉन्ग टर्म फ्रेट रेवेन्यू कमिटमेंट फॉर द कस्टमर। फर्स्ट वन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, long term freight revenue commitment from the customer. The customer will tell, I am guaranteeing you that we will give you this much of freight. Second point, stability and certainty of freight rates to the customers and assured supply of wagon. ये पहले पॉइंट कस्टमर बोलता है। कस्टमर क्या बोलता है, सर मैं अश्योर करता हूं कि हर साल मेरा जो वेट नेट टनेज है वो ज़्यादा बढ़ते जाएगा। और आप क्या बोलेगा कस्टमर को, आपका गारंटी क्या है, स्टेबिलिटी एंड सर्टेनिटी टू फ्रेट रेट। आप बोलेगा कि भैया आप कभी भी आओ, मेरा जो फ्रेट चार्ज बढ़ते जाए तो भी आपका जो आज का अग्रीमेंट का कॉस्ट है वही होगा। ये है हमारा विश्वास। और दूसरा विश्वास ये है कि कब आप वैगन पूछेगा, आपका प्रियोरिटी होगा वो वैगन हम सप्लाई करने में आपको, है ना। ये दोनों गारंटी रेलवे देगा। पहले गारंटी कस्टमर देगा, दूसरा गारंटी रेलवे देगा। पॉइंट 2.3, जनरेशन ऑफ एडिशनल ट्रैफिक वॉल्यूम्स एंड रेवेन्यूज फॉर द railway. So that is one of the objective of this scheme. So now we will come to the technicalities. These technicalities I will not read it out to you except the first one. The other things are very very detailed and complicated. You can go through yourself. Gross freight revenue means total freight revenue offered by the customer by for the transportation. GFR of a customer will be derived. ये कैसे, ये GFR कैसे हमको पता होता है, ये होगा डिफरेंट कमोडिटीज का जो वो देता है उसको ऐड करता है। GFR1, GFR2, GFR3 एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, वेयर 1, 2 एंड 3 रिप्रेजेंट डिफरेंट कमोडिटीज। इसका मतलब है समझो कि एक बड़ा फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स का एक दुकान है हिंदुस्तान लीवर। लेट अस टेक हिंदुस्तान लीवर। नन ऑफ माय रिलेटिव्स वर्क इन हिंदुस्तान लीवर, आई एम नॉट एडवर्टाइजिंग फॉर हिंदुस्तान लीवर। या कोलगेट पामोलिव, he manufactures soaps, he manufactures shaving cream, he manufactures shoes, he manufactures let us say soap, whatever. So GF1 will be soap, GF2 will be toothpaste, GF3 will be washing powder, like that. Okay, so different commodities. GFR is inclusive of surcharges and applicable charges if any, but excluding all type of taxes. This is the GFR which we spoke about. Okay, so this is what is called as the benchmark tool. The GFR or the gross freight revenue given by the party for all the commodities loaded by him. Whatever he loads, let him load cement, sand, steel. Okay, whatever you want you load. We will take all of it into consideration and we will total it and we will call it as GFR. Then minimum GFR means the annual minimum gross freight traffic committed by the customer for each individual financial year. ये जो सब मिलके है ये GFR होगा इस साल का minimum GFR होगा benchmark. So these are all the other words which you can learn. Now we will come to the 4.0. Which commodities do not come under the scheme? All commodities with classification below 100. 100 क्लास बहुत कम चार्जिंग क्लास है। इसका नीचे जो क्लास है हमारा रेलवे में उसका ये स्कीम में नहीं आएगा। इसका भी एक क्लास होना तो मैं लेता हूँ। क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ कमोडिटीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। वाई डू वी चार्ज डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट कमोडिटीज। यदि एक आदमी ने ट्रेन में जाता है, उसको यदि वो हिंदू हो, मुसलमान हो, जैन हो, सिख हो, क्या भी हो, यदि एक सेकंड एसी बर्थ में वो एक बर्थ लिया तो यदि वो मोटा हो, पतली हो, यदि हो मेल हो, फीमेल हो या अनस्पेसिफाइड हो, सबको एक ही रेट चार्ज करता है ना। फॉरगेट सीनियर सिटीजन कंसेशन, बट अदरवाइज एनीबडी फ्रॉम एज 12 to 100 we charge the same, but we don't charge the same for goods like that. We charge rice at a different rate, we charge wheat at a different rate, we charge steel at a different rate, we charge iron and coal at a different rate. Why do we charge that? That is a separate class again, very important, we will see some other day. Now we have got classification, that means we charge differently for different classes, so for different commodities. below class 100, if there is any commodity, for that we don't take into consideration for this scheme. We also don't take coal and coke, iron ore, military traffic, petroleum and other lubricants, railway material consignments, container traffic and automobile traffic. इन सब छोड़ के बाकी सब commodities हम we will take into consideration for this scheme. So what are the eligibility criteria? Customer willing to come under the LTTC shall be eligible only if he or she is already loading or giving traffic of at least 1 million tons per annum outward and both outward and inward as per the agreed terms. That means it can be only outward traffic और आउटवर्ड एंड इनवर्ड ट्रैफिक. इसका मतलब है दो स्कीम है. जो वो रेल से भेज रहे सिर्फ वो हो सकता है, या ये भी हो सकता है जो भेज रहे और जो रॉ मटेरियल उसको आ रहा है अंदर, ये दोनों मिलके भी हो सकता है ना. सो दैट इज द बेंचमार्क. नाउ न्यू ट्रैफिक refers to traffic loaded by a new customer coming to the railway for the first time in the current year. नया कस्टमर है, अभी सिर्फ आज ही आपका ये इस साल ही वो आ रहा है, वो है न्यू कस्टमर. The customer coming under the scheme shall not be eligible to avail the discount or concessions or rebate under any other scheme except 6% for northeastern region. हम पहले ही पढ़ चुका है कि we will be giving only one concession at a time for a customer. The only exception here is that northeastern region, the 7 states, Tripura, Assam, Meghalaya, so those states which we call our sister states, only those states in the northeastern region we are giving 6% concession that can be clubbed with this scheme. Okay. So what are the policies in this? All this is given here. The zonal railways will enter into an agreement with the customer incorporating the features of the guidelines. Agreement can be entered into with the zonal railways. Once the agreement is done, then if the customer has multiple terminals in multiple zonal railways, he can enter into agreement with each individual zonal railway, and then he can make the scheme possible. Okay. So there are a lot of illustrations here also, people can go through it. I will share it. What is the rebate? So the graded rebate, what is the rebate that is offered? The rebate is percentage of GFR over the benchmark. If the benchmark is 0 to less than or equal to 5, Yuvraj, please mute you. Okay. So what is the benchmark? It is given in this table. 0 to less than or equal to 5% increase in the GFR, 0% rebate. More than 5% to less than or equal to 10%, 1.5%, like that it is given. So previous years, पिछले साल से वो यदि ये साल 50% to 60% तक आया तो उसको 15% रिबेट मिलेगा, है ना. ये बहुत अच्छा रिबेट है. इसके लिए जो ये कैलकुलेशन सब दिया गया है. Those who are interested to go through this, I will share the PDF. You can go through it also. Now we will come to the next one. स्टेशन टू स्टेशन रेट्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? हमारा रेलवे ने सोच रहा है कि ये जो पेयर ऑफ स्टेशंस, ओडी स्टेशन, ओरिजिनेटिंग डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन है, जहां हम ट्रैफिक को इंक्रीज करना चाहते हैं, इधर फॉर इकोनॉमिक रीजंस, फॉर पॉलिटिकल रीजंस, और टू develop that area, poorer area. When we want to develop an area, we will tell, okay, now I am giving concessions for this station to that station. That is called a station to station rate concession. अभी इसका बारे में हम देखेंगे. So what is the guidelines for employing this station to station rates? In terms of section 32A of the Railway Act, the Railway Administration has been empowered to quote station to station rates in respect of carriage of various commodities. Where do we get the power to quote these rates? You know that when somebody can go to the court of law, they can question why, under what rule you have given. Then we can say that under section 32A of the Indian Railway Act 1989, which is passed by both the houses of parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and has got the assent of the Honorable President of India and made into an act and passed into the Gazette of India, we can quote station to station rates. Okay, in this regard, Ministry of Railways have issued guidelines. What are the guidelines? Applicability. Concession in freight rates under STS shall be applicable to specific stream of traffic. Important here. So that is what I am telling you. Remember Venkateswara ji, Balaji ji. Whenever he gives, he will take also. So here, except myself, I don't take at all, I only give. So station to station rate is applicable to a specific stream of traffic of a particular commodity for movement between a specific pair of originating destination points, OD points. The OD points are specific. Station A and station B is already defined. उस जो स्टेशन है उसका बीच कुछ ट्रैफिक है तो उसको कंसेशन देता है. ये कंसेशन क्यों देता है पहले ही बता चुका है. यदि ये कंसेशन देता है कुछ बॉर्डर एरियाज को हम इम्प्रूव करने के लिए, कुछ लो इनकम ग्रुप्स कुछ शहर में रहता है उसको इंक्रीज करने के लिए, जो एक शहर है उसका आसपास दूसरा शहर है और ये जो बड़ा शहर है उसको डिकंजेस्ट करने के लिए हम चाहता है, उसको ये स्कीम दे सकता है. ओके, सो अगेन the overall increase in NTKM, you can see this word wherever you go. NTKM is a very very important benchmark tool in our Indian Railways, for which we have to take a separate class. Net ton kilometer, number of tons moved into number of kilometers moved, that is the NTKM. The reference point 2.2, the reference to benchmark or total NTKM for the station as a whole or for that particular commodity or rail users refers to such total NTKM for the originating and destination pairs. Existing as well as new traffic can be eligible. New traffic means traffic offered by rail by a new rail customer crossing the benchmark NTKM of that commodity and that particular station. All these things are there. So you can read all of them detailed, or you can get back to me on my personal number which I will share with you. Okay. Concession can be applicable to a cluster of stations. What is a cluster of station? 2 or 3 stations which are nearby to each other, which are called as a cluster station. Cluster stations may be 2 or 3 stations which are 10 to 15 kilometers apart from each other. We can use that also for the this one. Okay, so this is the most important thing that you can note here. Now the chief, who can decide the cluster stations? The cluster stations are decided by the chief operations managers, PCOMs, principal chief operation managers, who usually are called the operating department head of the zonal railway. So they will be deciding on the cluster of stations and they will be giving the this thing. So then these are all the details. So what are the principles for reducing freight rates? 3.0. Concession under STS shall be granted only on incremental traffic over and above the benchmark NTKM. इसका मतलब है यदि आप पिछले साल पे 1000 मेट्रिक टन किया और इस साल में 1200 मेट्रिक टन, ये जो इंक्रीमेंटल है, इंक्रीमेंटल का मतलब है जो इंक्रीज है, दैट मीन्स 1000 and 1200. So the difference is equal to this minus this. So this 200 which we are seeing on my screen, so this 200 metric tons is the incremental rate. You know, you get your annual increment every year at 3%. So that annual increment, like that, here increment means the percentage increase keeping the previous year as the benchmark, है ना. So that benchmark NTKM, whatever is this 200 kilometers, सिर्फ ये 200 kilometers का 200 metric tons, sorry 200 metric tons का है, ये आपका concession ये STS scheme में मिलेगा. Okay, the station NTKM shall be calculated monthly, quarterly, half yearly or yearly as per the demand of the customer. इसका मतलब है कस्टमर पूछ सकता है कि सर आपका जो बेंचमार्क है वो हर 3 महीने आप रिवाइज करते जाइए, हर एक महीने का एक बार कीजिए, 3 महीने का एक बार कीजिए, आधा साल हाफ ईयरली कीजिए या साल में कीजिए. ये कस्टमर का जो इंटरेस्ट है वो इसका मुताबिक आप कर सकता है ना. सो लॉट ऑफ एग्जांपल्स आर गिवन हियर, पीपल कैन गो थ्रू दैट ऑन द वेबसाइट. नाउ वी विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट कंसेशन, राउंड ट्रिप टैरिफ और RTT. The policy has been implemented from 2410 and will remain valid up to 2310. Under this policy, freight discount is granted. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, I think now it is okay. Okay, policy has been implemented. Okay, Now, what is the policy? Under this policy, freight discount is granted to traffic if customer offers to book traffic in outward as well as return direction. इधर देखो, राउंड ट्रिप, आप यदि एक ऑटो या कुछ ऐप में बुक किया, यदि आप राउंड ट्रिप में लिया तो जैसे मैं पहले बता दिया 1+1 will not be equal to 2, 1+1 will be equal to 1.7. That means you will be getting a 30% rebate on the return direction. So this is called the round trip tariff which we are talking about. The return traffic under this traffic is charged at lower of the two classes of outward vis-a-vis the return traffic. Effectively, both outward and return are charged at lower among these, subject to terms and conditions. But the maximum discount is capped at 10%. इसका मतलब क्या है? यदि आप राइस बेच रहे हैं, let us assume let me take the same example of Ghaziabad, Bengaluru. You are booking rice from Ghaziabad to Bangalore. Okay, let me insert one here. You are booking rice, chawal from Ghaziabad to Bangalore and assume that it is charged at class 180. Okay, in the return direction, this is in this direction. Okay, this is in the forward direction. This is in this direction. Suppose you are bringing, let us say, assume we are bringing cement, okay, in the return direction, which is charged at class 190. All these are assumptions just for illustration sake. It is not true, it's an assumption. Okay, so you are bringing rice and cement, but you are sending rice class 180 from Ghaziabad to Bengaluru, and from Bengaluru to Ghaziabad you are the same customer. The customer cannot change. Please remember that. You are bringing cement in the same wagon which is charged at 190. If these two classes are there, you obviously know that class 180 is the lesser of it. For both the directions we will charge. What class we will charge for both the directions? Anybody?
180.
180, exactly. For both the directions we are going to charge 180. But the maximum discount is charged at capped at 180. That means if at all this is, let us say this is 130, then we cannot charge it at 130. This we will not charge at 130 for both up and down, because we will be losing too much. We will tell if the difference between this and this is too large, then we will cap it at 10% of the difference. Okay. So rail users decided availing the incentives under the RTT policy shall also require to apply to the zonal railways. So they have to apply to the zonal railways. They have to apply to CCM freight marketing or principal chief commercial manager to get the rebate. Okay. So analysis of traffic moving by road has revealed that there are a number of flows which involve movement of commodities that can also be used. Sandhya, mute your microphone. An analysis of traffic has shown that many of the road transport which is going, that we can also bring by rail. That means in my Excel example, you can see that railways has seen that many people transport from the same people who transport from Ghaziabad to Bangalore used road transport for transporting maybe raw materials or some other commodities from Bangalore to Ghaziabad in the return direction. So railways thought, क्यों उन जो कस्टमर्स है वो रोड यूज कर रहे हैं बेंगलुरु टू गाजियाबाद, क्यों हमारा वैगन्स ना यूज करना और उसको थोड़ा कंसेशन दे दो. इसका मन में रख के हमारा रेलवे ने सोचा कि एनालिसिस करने का बाद वन ऑफ द रीजन साइटेड फॉर द ट्रैफिक मूविंग बाय रोड in origin destination served by railways is that road haulers offer customers discount when traffic is assured both directions. यदि रेलवे ने सोचा कि जब रोड ट्रैफिक ने ये कंसेशन देगा कि हम अप एंड डाउन करा तो आपका कंसेशन देगा, क्यों रेलवेज ने नहीं देना है, इस ये मन में रख के हमारा रेलवे ने ये सोचा कि ये राउंड ट्रिप ट्रैफिक कंसेशन दिया जाएगा. स्कीम if in case any customer or consignor commits to offer traffic in the return direction, that is back to the originating station, either from destination or from any other point within 200 kilometers of destination. ये मन में रखो, यदि ये गाजियाबाद टू बेंगलोर भेज रहे हैं, ये रिटर्न डायरेक्शन में सीमेंट लेके आ रहा है, मगर ये है not from Bengaluru, it is from a small station called Kuppam to Ghaziabad. Okay, he is bringing the same cement from Kuppam to Ghaziabad, but please remember that the distance between Kuppam, these two stations, Bengaluru and Kuppam, if the distance of these two stations is less than, okay, if the distance is less than 200 kilometers, okay, if the distance is less than 200 kilometers, then we are telling, okay, bhai, we will take our wagons, the same wagons which we have unloaded at Bengaluru, we will take free of cost to Kuppam. From Kuppam you can load back to the same originating point Ghaziabad with cement. Even then we will give you this concession. Okay, that is the beauty of this scheme. So 200 kilometers, then traffic booked both outward and return shall be charged at the lower of the applicable rates in the return traffic. This shall be subject to the condition that loading in return direction begins within 24 hours of the release. Like I told you, whenever we give, we take also. What we tell, after unloading at Bangalore, for loading again at Kuppam, you should not take more than 24 hours gap. We will bring your wagon in 5 or 6 hours. After coming there, within 24 hours, you should start loading that wagon, because railway will gain money only when the wheels are moving. So we don't want to keep the rake idle. If you tell we are loading after 4 or 5 days, then we cannot guarantee that we will not give you this scheme. If you are only giving this concession, we will be able to do it. Okay, so that's a nice scheme. So then charging policy, what is the charging? Outward A to B, commodity X, 150 class 150. Return B to C. C means here a station which is less than 200 kilometers away from B, that is C class station. Commodity Y, class 160. Then even if it is 160, we charge at class, anybody, what class we charge?
Next higher class.
150.
We charge at 150. We cannot charge at next higher class. We charge at class 150. So the scenario is given here. Okay, you can see this. Here again we have got restrictions. What are the restrictions? Iron ore, container, petroleum and other lubricants, military traffic, RMC, automobile and such other traffic. Okay. So permitted terminals, all terminals except goods sheds and private fare terminals, however all port terminals are permitted. What are the terms? Minimum chargeable NTR. What is the NTR? It is called normal tariff rate. What is normal tariff rate? That we will discuss in another class. Okay. So no other concession is eligible. Okay. Traffic under traditional empty flow direction, freight forwarder, freight incentive, so and so shall continue to avail concessions under those schemes. Such traffic, however, shall not be eligible for round rate scheme. So these are the modalities. What the consignor has to do? The customer or the consignor will have to select the option of RTT scheme at the time of indenting or loading. Okay. For many schemes we saw that automatically rebate is granted. For some schemes automatic rebate is not granted. In such cases where automatic rebate is not granted, the party has to select when he goes to the station, or nowadays on the FOIS web page at the time of indenting of the wagon itself, he has to say that I am ready to go for this RTT scheme. Okay, so that is the scheme. So then we will go for one more important scheme. So that scheme is concession on long lead traffic. This has been introduced from 1/7/2020 for coal, coke, iron ore, steel, which under discount freight is granted. 20% to coal and coke rake for a distance of more than 1400 km, 20% to iron and steel for a distance of more than 1600 km, 15% for a distance of more than 700 km, and 20% for a distance of more than 1500 km for iron ore. Okay, let us see the what it means for that, what it means in the oh sorry, I think I opened the wrong so the policy aims to garnering additional traffic to rail by reducing empty run of the incentives round trip. I think somewhere I'm wrong. They are not given this LTT. Okay, that is all. This view detail is wrong, wrongly posted. It is leading to the same RTT scheme. Okay. Short lead concession. Now you saw what is long lead traffic. That means for a longer distance. For a very short distance. For a very short distance also we are giving concession. What is the concession? This short lead concession has been introduced from 1/7/2020, under which discount scheme in freight at the rate of 50%, 25% and 10% is granted for traffic booked up to 0 to 50 kilometers, 51 to 75 kilometer and 76 to 90 kilometer respectively.
Sarji,
Yes.
Sarji, nowadays long lead traffic you are telling that is obsolete. Not
Many of the, yes, I get it. Many of the schemes are not there in practice. But why I am still telling in the class is, in the exam it still might be asked, and tomorrow or after tomorrow they may reintroduce. Many schemes which were not there is again reintroduced. For example, we thought GST was not there for certain commodities. Suddenly they stopped GST and then again they reintroduced GST. Is it not?
okay.
So that is why I am taking this class. I know that many of the schemes are not in vogue now. They are not in vogue, they have been stopped. But still again, we have to know what those schemes are, both from the examination point of view as well as from the reintroduction point of view. Okay, policy guidelines for freight traffic, short lead traffic. Sanction of the competent authority is hereby accorded for grant of concession in charging freight. So why do we give this short term lead traffic? See, many times in our Indian Railways, we have got what is called as flyover rakes. In coaching, when you see, whenever express train comes from a long distance and it comes to, let us say, Bangalore city at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the return rake for that train is at night 23 hours. Then from 7 o'clock to 23 hours, that rake is lying idle. Is it not? It is simply sitting without getting a revenue. So what our punctuality controllers will do, they will tell, sir, ये जो rake, they will go to senior DOM and tell, sir, ये rake जो है सुबह आया है और अभी तक वहाँ ही खड़ा है. So क्या करना है इसको? Then senior DOM and that punctuality controller will decide, okay, let us run this train which is lying simply from Bangalore to Mysore, which is only 3 hours away. So 7 o'clock when the rake comes, we will take 2 hours for cleaning it. Then 9 o'clock let it go to Mysore. 10, 11, 12. 12 o'clock it will reach Mysore. 1 o'clock it will start again from Mysore, come back to Bangalore at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock 16 hours, that is railway time. 16 hours से 23 hours तक उसका primary maintenance का जो 7 घंटा है उसको मिल जाएगा. So we are running a train for the passengers from Bangalore to Mysore. That is called flyover rake. Similarly, many of our wagons, it will be waiting for next loading. So instead of that, we can use that rake for loading commodities for short lead traffic. So when somebody is offering to take material for a short distance, then this is the concession that we give. 0 to 50 kilometers we give 50% concession, 51 to 75 kilometers 25% concession, 76 to 90 kilometers 10%, and so on. Okay, so the applicable concession is on normal tariff rate only and not on the base fare. No other concession shall be concurrently available except 6% concession to northeastern region. Okay, so what are the modalities? Modalities are as told here. Direct concession is given 50%, 25% and 10%. Okay, so I think it is 11:20. Shall we continue the class or shall we stop it? Anybody? Sir, Nageshwara sir, please.
Can continue, sir.
Okay, I think
Can
we'll close.
continue for 10 minutes.
Okay, we will close it at 11:30. Now one more important thing which we have, one concession we will see, and then we may have to take another class.
Sir, terminal incentive cum engine on load scheme is now did working or not?
Yes, engine load scheme is still there. Engine load scheme is still there.
Sir, in this PDF, I see that in you.
I will send
but
it.
not available.
I will send it. That is engine on load scheme. Engine on load scheme जो होता है, जो engine will not be detached from the rake and a certain amount of time will be given for the consignor or the consignee to unload the consignment within that specified time, and the rake will be taken out. Okay. Now we will see one more last concession incentive scheme, and then we will close the class.
Yeah, please continue, sir. Balaji garu.
So, freight incentive scheme for loading bagged consignment in open and flat wagons. इसका क्या है? हमारा भारत देश जो है वो बहुत बड़ा देश है और कोने कोने में हमारा रेलवे का ये जो रेल लाइन है, and we have very huge weather and climate changes. Okay, we have the monsoon season, we have the summer season, we have the winter season also. So generally during summer season and winter season there will be no rain at all, not even a drop of rain will be there. The sky will be completely blue, and people who will transport cement or some other commodity will try to go for a open wagon to transport cement or food grains in summer season or winter season where there is no chance for rain. So these, because Indian Railways have very little number of wagons, we have less wagons, so we are telling the parties, when you are booking cement or some other commodity which is traditionally carried in a covered wagon, when you want to carry wheat, rice, sugar, cement in open wagon in summer and winter season where a tarpaulin can be put on it, then we will give you some concession, because it will help both of us. We know that covered wagons are less in railways, we don't have many covered wagons, and you also want wagons urgently. So in that case what we will do, you indent for an open wagon with a facility to opt for you indent for covered wagon with a facility to opt for a open wagon. In case covered wagon is not available, we will be giving you an open wagon, and when you load that open wagon, we will give you some concession for loading in it. Now what is that concession that we are giving? We will see now briefly. Freight incentive scheme for loading bagged consignment in open and flat wagons. Board has introduced a freight incentive scheme for loading bagged consignment in open and flat wagons. Now what is the details regarding that? We will see now. So I will take only 10 minutes. I may have to go out also. My parents.
Yeah, no issue. Please carry on.
We will continue the class next time. I will finish off this one.
Yeah,
Objective.
Yeah.
Garner additional volume of traffic and revenue by granting incentives to customers for loading bagged consignment in flat wagons. जैसे मैं पहले ही बता चुका है, ये इंसेंटिव क्या होगा? Following freight discounts will be granted on normal tariff rate for loading bagged consignment in open and flat wagons. Cement, China clay, all types of chemical manures except rock phosphate, which is a chemical which is highly combustible. So phosphate is a combustible thing, so we don't carry it in open wagon. Food grain, de-oiled cake. ये क्या de-oiled cake है? जो आप ऑयल लेता है ग्राउंडनट से, सनफ्लावर से, वो जो हस्क है, वो pressed husk is called de-oiled cake. Soapstone powder, lime, quicklime, zinc, blah blah blah, all these things which you can carry usually in a covered wagon, but when we carry it in an open wagon, then we give them 20% discount. Then fly ash and urea, 30% discount is given. In case when more than one bagged consignment or clubbed or loaded in open wagon or flat wagon, applicable freight rate discount to that consignment may also be granted on pro rata basis subject to fulfillment. What is pro rata basis? That means you are combining cement and let us say soapstone powder. You know that soapstone powder is charged differently and cement is charged differently based on, depending on the weight. Suppose cement is 100 in a 58 ton wagon, if you are loading 40 ton cement and the remaining 18 tons of soapstone, प्रोराटा बेसिस, सीमेंट को 40 टन का बेसिस जो है उसमें 20% का रिफंड रिबेट देगा, और जो सोपस्टोन है उतना जो वेटेज है उसका मुताबिक आपका कंसेशंस मिलेगा 20% का. ओके, so what is the floor rate or the minimum rate? The minimum chargeable freight rate will be not less than the normal tariff rate of class LR1. LR1 से नीचे है. What are the permitted? All terminals including the port is permitted. Restricted all commodities other than mentioned 1.0. इसके अलावा किसी और कमोडिटी को देता नहीं है, सिर्फ इन जो कमोडिटी है इनका ये स्कीम शामिल होगा. क्या क्या वैगन है? ओपन वैगन्स, बॉक्स एंड वैगन्स, बूस्ट वैगन्स, बॉक्स वैगन्स, बट नॉट हुपर वैगन्स, and flat wagons, BRN wagons, BFR wagons, BRH, BRN wagons, etc. Concurrent freight concession 6% to any northeast region, which we already seen. For example, if NTR is 100, then discounted NTR will be after 20% shall be 80% plus 6%, then it will be 75.20 rupees. So booking procedure, customer need not apply. Railway will give on provision of the scheme. So automatically, this is also one of the automotive schemes. When you apply for a open wagon, covered wagon with a option that you will load in open wagon also, then automatically FOIS or our computer system will calculate that you ask for an open wagon, but we are giving you a covered wagon, then that rebate will be given automatically to you. Commodities should be loaded only in standard bags of up to 100 kgs. That means there should be a standard baggage provision. Tarpaulins for covering should be provided by the consignor at their own cost. Consignor will not be required to furnish an undertaking. Consignor will be required to furnish an undertaking on the forwarding note, giving their consent for loading in open wagon, and to the effect that they would bear full risk for damage or pilferage. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. जब आप ओपन वैगन में दे रहे, आपका जो 20% या 30% का कंसेशन दे रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा कंसेशन दे रहे हैं, वो वी आर गिविंग 1/5 कंसेशन टू देम. फॉर दैट वी टेल ओके, यू हैव टू गिव अ सर्टिफिकेशन दैट यू आर अग्रीइंग फॉर एनी लॉस और डैमेज. सडन बारिश आया, क्लाउड बर्स्ट, इट इज कॉल्ड क्लाउड बर्स्ट, विच मे हैपन इवन इन समर टाइम. सो व्हेन सच थिंग्स हैपन, वी आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल. दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू गिव इट. ओके, then supply of wagons for loading under the scheme will be subject to operational feasibility. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप जब पूछेगा हमारा पास ओपन वैगन्स होना है, यदि ओपन वैगन्स हमारा पास एक रेक का पूरा है, आपको देता है, नहीं तो नहीं देगा. ओके, सो these are all the other things which you can go through on the website. There are still so many other schemes which you have to, which is left over, which is for another class. Gati Shakti scheme is there. Then rebate on commodity in privately owned wagons. There are a lot of schemes which are there, which we have to take time. So because I go into detail. So Yellata?
Yeah, Gurnath ji, Mr.
So I think we can close the class now.
Balaji garu, can I take queries on this topic right now? If you are free?
Queries?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's up to you. Depend on your.
Because right now I may have to leave the.
Yeah, very good, very good, good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Anybody is
no,
having
no
any?
issue. Yeah, thank you, Sri Balaji Gurnath garu, for wonderful enlightenment on freight incentive schemes in a very simple manner. Definitely, I will conduct one more session. If you agree, on some other Sunday. Yeah, thank you, participants, for joining us, and please join again next Sunday, same time, 10 o'clock. Thank you all.
Thank you, Balaji, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please render your.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Balaji sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Arundal. Have a next time. Please join again next Sunday, 10 a.m. with another topic.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
No, you know, yeah. It was it.
Hmm. అంబా లత ఊడ్చుకోవచ్చునా ఈ రూము అయింది. ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನು